This episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Mello Targaryen of Fairy, Talon Vieira of Diabolos, Midgie McGoogle of Leviathan. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio.
Coming up this week on Checkpoint Radio, it's finally here. The Overwatch Grand Finals have arrived, and shockingly, the finals will be between the London Spitfire and the Philly Fusion. We'll get you caught up on the story so far, plus, is the Fortnite competitive scene starting to implode? That's all coming up on your source for esports and video game discussions, Checkpoint Radio from Westwood One. Join me, Nate, Robbie Norris, and Joe for Checkpoint Radio. Listen on demand a full 5 days earlier, now uploaded on Fridays at our website at checkpointradio.com. And now an excerpt from Open Mic Night at the Shirokaze Hostelry.
This hand-penned by myself, titled Nature's Bounty. Haiku. Gabi, long toil make. Boom doom, unleash, fire bloom. Busy deal, complete. Many think.
Join us every Waters Day for Open Mic Night at Shirokaze Hostelry.
Live from Eorzea.
Limit Break. With your hosts, Unhero.
Now behold the horror you have wrought.
Kahlo.
I said don't take your clothes off.
Juxtaposition.
I don't get it.
And Nika.
Oh my god.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode 168. I want to thank everyone for joining us here at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Exciting show for you guys today because there's really nothing going on.
How is that exciting?
I know, right?
No,
like,
we got something up our sleeve.
There is literally nothing going on in FF14 right now. So we're just kind of in a holding pattern waiting for the next Eureka to drop. And
Monster Hunter.
I mean, you know,
yay!
I do want to go back around to the Monster Hunter gear that we complimented on the last show. But before we get into that, joining us is the Limit Break Radio crew. Of course, Robbie, Kahlo Landis over here, fresh from New York.
That's
What's
right.
going on, man?
Oh, man,
I don't know what to call you anymore because we do so many goddamn shows together.
Hey, to be fair, I still only have 2 names.
That's true. Also, Juxtaposition, back from doing... what were you doing last week?
Last week I was forced to work because my coworker was having a baby.
Stupid babies!
What's up with everyone having babies?
I fucking hate babies.
I worked 51 hours last week.
Ugh.
Did you get
51 hours? Oh, wait, no. Okay, I thought you had said weekend for a second.
Oh, no, just in the week.
Got yourself some OT, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I jerked off so hard during that shift.
And back from her birthday, Nika Kyanian didn't want to spend her birthday with the likes of the Limit Break Radio audience.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
She
I probably
doesn't
had
deny
more fun
it. She's
than
like,
you guys did.
Pretty sure I worked on my birthday.
I worked on my birthday.
I mean, well, yeah, usually I'm on stream for my birthday. I mean,
you know, I thought about doing that, but I ended up, I was out really late, so then it didn't end up happening.
Uh-huh. Anyway, so welcome to Limit Break Radio. Appreciate having you guys along. Let's kick it on over to our Eorzean studios. You can join us. Nice picture of the wall. Great. Awesome. Thanks, iCam. You can join us, the Goblet 5th Ward plot number 30 on the Sargentana server. Come make funny faces at the camera. The more you emote, the more the camera will focus on you. So come and hang out. We've had a fairly empty studio the last couple of weeks, so if you make it here,
pretty empty too,
yeah. If you make it here, there's a pretty good chance that you'll be able to get on camera if that's something that means anything to you. But we want to hear from you today. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord, because we've got like nothing to talk about. There's like nothing going on.
I have something that we can talk about.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah. But we'll do it after the news. But
okay.
Before we get into our big one of the day, I got something I want to bring up to get people's opinions on.
Okay.
Let's say.
All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe you feel some kind of way over the last couple of weeks talking about Jessica Price or the ArenaNet situation. I know that our comment section on YouTube has been on fire, and a couple of those people really got in their feelings. And I thought we were going to get some calls about this last week. But
obviously.
Of course not. No one had the balls to be able to step up. So if you feel some kind of way and you really want to, be able to express your opinion or give us what for, or I don't know, try to get us banned from Twitch or shut down or whatever it is.
You just reminded me. We have something else to read.
Yeah, that is. I forgot about that.
Right.
How did that not make its way to this outline? Because no work got done.
Yeah.
Juxta.
I'm not here for one fucking weekend because I'm off trying to carry a whole other show in New York, and you can't do a single bit of licking fucking work.
Seriously,
complain about it.
Come on.
And to be fair, I haven't had a keyboard for the last 5 days, so I couldn't do it.
Why have you not had a keyboard?
Well, duh. Obviously, I was playing World of Warcraft, and I almost died in an invasion, and I accidentally knocked over my cereal bowl onto my keyboard. So it's still, the keyboard half works, like the bottom half doesn't work.
So why did it take you 5 days to get it replaced?
Because I bought one on Amazon.
Just go to fucking Best Buy or Micro Center or Staples.
What?
Hang on. I've seen your fucking keyboard that died. This thing is like 18 years old and is the grossest fucking...
Whoa, 18? That would
20.
make it manufactured in 2000.
Yeah.
This thing's like 30 years old.
Jesus. That's almost as old as I am. There is no reason... Shut the fuck up.
It's so gross.
There is no reason that you couldn't have gone and gotten a way better keyboard from Staples.
Plus, what about all the keyboard that your family and friends have tried to buy you over the years that you claim, it doesn't work, so I'm going to go back to my old one?
What do you mean they don't work?
Like the F key or the E key just randomly breaks on it, so I have to throw it out.
What do you mean it randomly breaks? Like the key breaks off?
No, like if I hit F, like I can't pay my respects.
I fucking hate you.
All right, hold on. The real question that everyone is wondering, what kind of cereal was it?
Well, it was Malto Mix s'more cereal.
What?
What is that?
What is that?
Malto Mix, that's the brand. You know, the cheap stuff comes in a bag.
Oh, okay.
And it's s'mores, so it's like Golden Grams and like Cocoa Puffs mixed with marshmallows.
When he said mix, I'm like, did you just mix a bunch of different cereals together?
I mean, no. I do that. Like, once there's like enough for like not a real bowl, then you just pour more cereal on top of that, and then eventually get like a whole mixture of like 5 different kinds of cereal, and it's the best thing ever.
How do you...
Including the cereal dust at the bottom. Oh, I usually just drink that shit.
Questions about your finances that you're buying 5 different kinds of cereal.
No, this is over the course of like 2 or 3 months.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
Just a little sort of trivia for you guys. When we were out in New York, we met with a LBR fan, Officer Cracker, and he had brought a friend of his along who was also a heavier set fellow. Guess what his name was?
I don't know.
Uncle Cracker? I don't want...
Chris.
Oh. Yeah, that would make sense.
So everyone's name that's Chris is a fatty.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
No,
that's the joke.
Everyone who's fat, just happens to be named Chris. It's weird. It's
Epic Lurker says Malto.
Word commonality.
Malto's even below welfare standards.
Jesus.
I mean, yeah. If you want cereal nowadays, you have to.
Doesn't that cut the roof of your mouth?
That's why you have to let it sit in milk for like 10 minutes before you eat it. It's like the same process of like heating up like a Hot Pocket. You can't eat a Hot Pocket frozen, just like you can't eat cereal raw.
Have you tried to eat a Hot Pocket frozen?
I mean,
that pause is way too long.
Not recently. I learned back when I was like 12 years old. So I mean, it works for chicken nuggets and
no, it doesn't.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. Absolutely does not.
I mean, it does.
No, it doesn't.
First of all, a pizza roll is basically just a tiny Hot Pocket, so no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, it's just too frozen. The Hot Pocket is like there's too much cold in there. Like with the pizza roll, you can usually chomp through it with your teeth.
Oh my god!
Why?
Although I can't now. My teeth are horrible. They'll probably break apart.
Oh my god, this is so gross. Anyway, what kind of
back to the
what
most
kind of
important
keyboard
thing.
did you get?
It was I was going to go for the $14.99 keyboard, which, by the way, if anyone hasn't looked at keyboards recently, the price of the multicolored backlit LEDs have gone way down. Like when I was looking at them, they're like $60, $80, but now I could get one for $14.99.
What
Well, I
brand?
guess it depends if you're getting a mechanical one or not, though, too. You can now buy LED ones that are just regular ass keyboards.
Yeah, that's what I did, and I actually I sprung for the $20.99 one, so it doesn't have the clicky noises that's really irritating, and it's black.
Good. Oh, okay. So, crisis averted.
Yeah, I got it this morning. It works well so far.
Why? I still don't understand why you had to order it and have it shipped to you when you could have just gone to variety of stores.
I'm not going to go to like Best Buy and get like a pleb keyboard that's just like black like this one.
They have all kinds of keyboards.
Except not ones that are cheap too.
I mean,
I guess they don't have the Molto keyboards at Best Buy.
Well, if I'm going to upgrade from my 20-year-old keyboard, then I can't not have LED lights on it.
What brand did you get?
Brand?
Yes.
Yeah, what brand?
Multicolored?
That's not a brand.
Logitech?
I think it's like a Yusu. Like YOUSO, I think it is.
Oh, this is not going to go well.
Oh,
it didn't have a box that came with it. It was just like in a brown box.
And this is somehow worse than going to Staples and getting your problem solved immediately.
Cheaper. It was so much cheaper, and it looks really cool. It has this cool breathing effect where like it's
what?
It's like like the lights like slowly dim.
This is fucking stupid.
And then get brighter.
This is stupid. This is stupid.
No, it's really cool.
Why are we talking to him?
I also bought a mouse too.
Why are we talking?
Just in case the milk like infected the mouse somehow, although the mouse still worked well. So.
Anyway, support Limit Break Radio. Not sure why you would, but patreon.com/Limit Break Radio is where you can support Limit Break Radio. We've got a new postcard, right? We
do. It's still a few days before it goes out. Which is like the 5th. So if you want to get in on this this newest set of postcards, because it is the new set, which is being done by a fan of ours. You can find her on Twitter. I have no idea how to pronounce her name, so we're just going to say Cass. But if you check any of our Twitters, we've been tweeting out some of her stuff recently. She's doing actually a special Let's Be Real set of postcards. So it's going to feature the Let's Be Real host with like certain sort of gaming motifs. So
nice.
Mine will be going out first and is based on Fallout.
You're always first. Why is that?
No, I'm not actually. This is the first time I've been first.
Hashtag New Juxta, and is the news ready yet?
Well, we're getting there. And actually, Juxta will be next, and it will be trading card themed.
Yeah!
Oh, god damn it.
It's also going to have his dumb baby in it.
Stupid baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, so make sure that you're a pledge to Limit Break Radio's Patreon, patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. An update on the Let's Be Real podcast. We're looking at September for a launch date so that being in this studio for the better part of 5 hours on a Sunday is bearable, you know?
Like it's not going to kill us.
Yeah, that's part of the problem with 90-degree days is that, 5-6 hours in a studio is really, really difficult to be able to pull off. So we are, and I just want to remind everyone that every month that we stay above that $1,300 mark is another episode. episodes. So we've got 2 episodes so far that have been fully funded by you guys over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio. You're not going to have to wait months in between the premiere episode. You'll get those episodes right back to back. So as long as we're above 1,300, those episodes will accumulate from the premiere date starting in September. So again, patreon.com/limitbreakradio. Help fund Limit Break Radio and continue our efforts into the future. Something else that you know what we should talk about while we're talking about the money stuff is the Limit Break Radio after party.
Is it news time yet?
Nope.
No!
Stop it. The Limit Break Radio after party at this year's Fan Festival. We have secured an epic location.
I'm so excited.
And the deal has not been signed yet. Okay. All right.
I take back my excitement hit.
Well, but okay, so we've got to you know, come up with a decision by Monday if we want to pull the trigger on it. I cannot say what the venue is. I can say that if nobody shows up, we are going to owe them a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to owe them a lot of money.
Don't worry, this is not connected to like the mob or anything.
No, it's not. It's a place that we've been before. Maybe not as a part of this show, but it's a place that we've been before. We've scoped this place out, and believe me, we can have the most epic after party possible. Okay? And it's not just going to be for those that are able to attend. There is going to be a streamed element to this as well. Yes, it is going to be that epic. Okay? But again, if nobody shows up, we owe them an assload of money.
So please show up.
So what
I have a lot of avenues I plan on spreading this to.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have some pre-sale packages that you guys are gonna be able to get in on, and we're gonna need everyone possible to
Carletta says titty bar.
to buy those in advance so that we can try to cover our ass as much as possible. But the thing is that we don't want it to just be the Limit Break Radio after party. We've done that now twice. And it was cool, like celebrating 10 years of podcasting in 2016. That was totally awesome. Hanging out with Susan Calloway at our event. Like, dude, we had so much at the Rock House that was going on. That was so fucking cool. But this being even bigger and having a much bigger commitment from us that goes into it, I think I really want to get the whole of the FF14 community, the whole of the creative community involved in this. So we're going to be kind of reaching out to some folks and seeing who we can get involved. We want it to be bigger than Limit Break Radio. We want it to be the FF14 community after party.
I wonder if we can get Square-Enix to recognize this as like the official community after.
I think that's part of the goal here, is that, you know, I'll be honest, I feel like I want to pass the torch on this event a little bit, because I don't know.
Teach everybody else how it's done,
like,
kind of.
I don't know how many more years I'm going to be interested in going to FanFest. That's sad for me to say and admit, but I have to admit it. I got to be honest. So, you know, this may be a bit of a passing of the torch, so that, you know, maybe in 2020, if there's still a FanFest, that somebody else might be able to step in and take up that mantle. So,
you know, I actually had a moment when I was out in New York where I realized just how well we do after parties, because we actually found out that there was a bunch of the more popular Overwatch podcasts that had an after party that we were going to crash, right?
Right.
We showed up to this place, and basically they just had it in the beer garden of the hotel they were in, which was a single bar with no standing room, and then it went out onto a balcony, which was roomy, but because it had rained, they couldn't turn the lights on because apparently the lights, when they have water on them, would short out.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
So, yeah. So there was this big dark balcony out there where there were some people, and nobody at the bar would, like, come up. There was a single person there, and she just sat there talking to some dude the whole time, so we could get no alcohol. There were 3 chicks there out of the 20 people. we left after like 5 minutes, and as we're walking, it really set in on me like the stuff that we've done in Vegas. How fucking awesome we are.
Oh, dude. I mean, like, we're actually pretty good event planners when it comes down to it. And when I say we, I say Kooky Persona.
Yeah.
Because she's really knocked this out of the park, and she's been working really, really hard to be able to try to get this event together.
Kookie's playing this one too?
Yeah, Kookie's helping.
She's never gonna be at this one, is she?
No.
She said she might come for the party.
She may come for the party, but she's. I mean, she is our point person on this, and we want to be able to celebrate hard work as her hard work as well. It's funny. I'm looking at the chat room. Taro Nero doesn't like FanFest. What about an ESO FanFest? Here's the thing. Or go to BlizzCon. Bucket was saying go to BlizzCon. Here's the thing. Is the reason that I say that is as Checkpoint Radio starts making more and more commitments to do stuff, it becomes harder and harder for us to carve out time and budget to be able to go to something like FanFest, right? Like we have had shrinking margins on the Patreon account. All of our trolls love to be able to point that out as much as possible. But with those shrinking margins, we also have to budget accordingly. And so we do have a little bit left over from last year to in our travel fund. That travel fund is pretty much exclusively used for Limit Break Radio stuff, and not as much for Checkpoint. Checkpoint has at least our producers meeting us halfway on a lot of those expenses. So the thing is that it's going to be difficult for us moving forward to be able to commit to something like FanFest. I mean, I'm sure that people have already noticed that our body count from 2016 went from like 15 fucking people going, because I mean, like, Juxta, you were going, Pops went, Scalia.
Pops brought his wife. We had a huge crew when we were rolling out in Vegas, and this year it's just going to be Nika, Kahlo, and myself.
And I've got Surin.
Okay, and Senpai is going to be there as well.
I'm dragging him along. He doesn't even play anymore yet.
Oh, that poor man.
Well, and here's the thing is that, I mean, I think at least after this FanFest, a big part of the conversation that this show is going to have is what is the future of Limit Break Radio going to be like? And I don't mean to be a bummer here, guys, but we said that at the outset of Stormblood that we didn't know in a year what our commitment level was going to be like to FF14, and is it really fair of us to continue doing this show? We don't really know, we still play enough, I think, to justify it now, and I think this is a make or break time for Square-Enix.
Maybe they'll announce the biggest, most awesomest thing at FanFest, and it will change all of our minds.
Kidding, obviously.
I mean, they could, and I hope that they do. I mean, there is this, kind of...
It feels like I'm dying inside.
There is this kind of like optimistic part of me that does not get dragged out very much on this show that thinks that, well, maybe Square Enix is aware of their eroding veteran player community and is going to actually do something about it. This could be the expansion. But I thought that about Stormblood as well. And,
Then we got Weeaboo shit.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if they do care, because of the fact that how much in demand FanFest tickets were this year. They clearly people love us. Do we need to change anything?
Lloyd said he's going to try and get the money to come out to FanFest as well, so we might have at least one intern out there. And Taro, shut the fuck up.
You didn't predict shit. We talked about this at the launch of Stormblood.
Totally predicted the thing they've been talking about for the past year, guys. Called it.
We openly put Square Enix on notice and said, look, you've got a year. Get your shit together.
Yeah, we did have that conversation.
So, come on now. Be honest. Fucking idiots. All right, let's check out what's going on in FF14 news.
This is a limit-breaking news update.
All right, guys, I hope you're ready because we got another sweet Square-Enix contest. This one is the interior design contest. That's right. You get to show off.
Jesus, did you even try?
No, they didn't.
You know what you should do, Juxta? And I'm going to give you permission to do this to the entire house. I want you to enter, but I want you to make as many phallic things as possible.
You know, there's a good chance he's going to win because, all right, so in the last contest, they had 50 winners, right? You guys want to take a guess how many winning entries are going to get prizes this time? Come on.
4.
Oh, higher.
3.
Oh, higher. Nika, help him out here.
Nika, get out.
Yes.
100.
Higher.
200.
200 winning entries. And of course, just like every previous contest, you will get the Gala Cap, the Noble Barding, the Araman Choker, the Mandragora Choker, the Blue Ring Earring, the Scarf of Wonders, all of them. All of them. 200 people will get all of them.
Like
one
of them.
Yeah, you got to pick
now it's like
one.
Then it was like you get 2, 5. Now you get all of them.
You get all of them. 200
like,
people.
Once you win one contest, why ever enter one?
I've already won a contest, and I have this the Rit Scarf of Wondrous bullshit.
Okay, but don't you want the other things?
I already got one thing. How can I win again?
You can get all of them.
I've already won a contest.
What contest did you win?
The Create an Aura screenshot contest.
Oh,
did you even try?
No.
Yeah. So yeah, you should definitely do the penis house. I think.
I mean, tell you what, I'll let you guys take a picture and enter our house for us.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Same.
Just same. Okay. So this next one here, I'm kind of torn on this one. This one is interesting because I think it's the most work that Square Enix has put into an event, but I feel like it also sets now a very, very high precedent with FanFest coming up, right? So, I'm going to actually go through and read some of the official lodestone on this because this is going to be a little bit of a roller coaster of emotion on some expectations. All right. So, the most exciting time of the year is back. Gamescom, the biggest gaming event in Europe, is back, and we're thrilled to be a part of it again. Join us for great challenges, fantastic stage shows, and even better prizes. There'll also be a way to get a free copy of the FF14 Starter Edition for your friends, because you know they need those new players. So you can find their brand new booth in Hall 9, where they've got plenty of fun activities planned for you. Will you be cruising Gamescom with your friends who have never joined you in Eorzea before? No problem. In our newbie corner, they can sign up with you right on the show floor, and if they sign up for a game account at our booth, we will add the Final Fantasy XIV Starter Edition to their account completely free, including the 30 days of free game time. So basically, if you don't play Final Fantasy XIV and you go to Gamescom, they're just going to give you the game.
This game is so bad they're giving the game away.
Cool.
Tell me that doesn't smell of desperation right there, right? They're also going to have a spin the wheel and join the battle. You know, we try to keep our challenges spicy. Really? Do ya?
Take off your clothes.
And this year, we've added a delicious little twist to the roulette. You can now decide whether you want to take a normal challenge, which is ideal for beginners, or an extreme challenge. First of all, that's not roulette. You're literally just picking one or the other, which should offer the right difficulty level for our veterans with an extra prize on top. Remember, better prizes, guys. But be careful. You risk it all in the extreme challenge, and there are no consolation prizes for those who fail. So the great prizes for all participants in the regular roulette and the winners of the extreme roulette include a giant tote bag.
Nice.
We've given those away.
We have, but they just said there will be no consolation prize for the extreme roulette, but then they just said they get a tote bag.
Those are
for the normal mode, idiot.
Those are freebies at shit like
all participants in the regular roulette. Oh, and winners of the extreme. Okay, I didn't read right.
But I mean, again, though, those are freebies that they give away at E3.
Yeah, like
I mean, do you guys remember how many of those E3s? You know, any of the shit, the bags that we saw at E3?
All over the fucking place. All over the fucking place. But here's the big one. If you win the extreme roulette, not only do you get that sweet tote bag, but the winners of the extreme roulette also get a branded sweatband.
A what?
A sweatband.
What's a sweatband?
You put it on your wrist so that like you don't.
They were like really
you don't-
popular
you
back
don't
in the
sweat.
high school days.
Back in the
It was, like,
80s?
In the 80s.
It says Warrior of
And
Light on
80s.
it.
You fucking kidding me?
You get a
That's actually kind of cool. I used to have like band sweatbands when I was in high school.
yeah. Come on, better
I'll
rewards,
wear a
guys.
Warrior of Light
I'm
one.
sorry, I thought it was garbage.
Yeah, and then of course you'll also get to win the 2018 trophy shirts for Byako and Tsukunomi. Those are the two challenges that are within the roulette, which you will get randomly. And also apparently, for some lucky people, Yoshi P and Soken might pop up and play with you. So that's cool. And winners will also get a commemorative towel to commemorate their struggles on stage.
I want a
And-
towel too.
This is like the leftover bullshit that they've had from
I mean,
from
is
years
that like
previous.
embroidered with Warrior of Light on it too?
It sure is. You get a Warrior of Light towel, guys.
I want that.
How big's a towel?
Yeah, is it like a
Is it a
little
hand
Or
towel,
is it like
or
an
is it-
actual like
or is it
bath
like a-
towel?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it might be a bath towel. Yeah, maybe it looks.
I want it.
Yeah, but the big deal here, Nika, and you better get your cosplay shit in gear
Ooh.
if they also bring this over to FanFest, because I think this is where they mean the better prizes. But of course, they're gonna have another cosplay contest, which you can enter, and then they're gonna pick 20 finalists to actually come up on stage. They're going to pick out 3 winners from the 20 finalists. First place will receive 1 PlayStation 4 Pro Stormblood Edition,
Whoa.
a custom-made trophy, a Final Fantasy XIV backpack, Carbuncle calendar, and a Chloe figure with baby Chocobo. Second place will get all of that minus the PlayStation 4 Pro, and third place gets all of that minus the PlayStation 4 Pro and the backpack. So
I want the backpack.
Wow.
the cosplay prizes are actually pretty cool.
That is good. I never usually enter the contest at FanFest just because it takes so much time. You have to do all the judging and waiting and stuff to like, I don't know. I like to do the other events, and like I've talked to people who did the contest and I've interviewed them the past couple of years, and they said it takes up like most of their day.
Wow, really? Just
Yeah.
one day though?
Yeah, it's only one of the days.
Okay, it's not like
but
there's going to be anything else to do there, really.
I don't know. I found that I like, because everything has such long lines. I kind of want to be able to do everything. And I know a lot of people who did the contest ended up having to skip out on some of
Well, you know what you could do, actually? If they had the newbie corner at FanFest, you could take Senpai to get the game for free.
We still have the game.
Oh, was he going to play it?
Are you gonna play it?
I play it. I played last Tuesday and finished Heaven on High. In fact, let's get into what I wanted to talk about, guys.
Okay.
All right, so Heaven on High.
By the way, spoiler warning. I mean, I just
okay. Spoiler
tag.
alert.
If you haven't done Heaven on High and you really give a shit about the story, I'm not sure why you would, but if you really give a shit about the story, just a bit of a warning. Here's spoilers.
Okay, because Juxa, you actually
Darby spoilers here, matey.
I did it on stream too, so if anyone was with me,
you quote unquote spoiled it for us when we talked about it on the show, but you left out a pretty key feature of the story.
What?
So after you finish Heaven on High
Star Wars holograms?
and these NPCs are giving you this bullshit reasoning for why they had you go and do it, they suddenly stop and they're like, you know what? It's not right for us to say. You should go figure out the truth for yourself. Go to the 1,000-year pine. Which sounded pretty cool, right? So I'm like, all right,
it didn't.
This 1,000-year-old tree. This is gonna be like a tree beard type deal. There's gonna be like
We're gonna go to like Tedrasil.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, or something like that.
The Mana
Mother
tree.
Willow.
Yeah. So I walk up to I actually flew up to the tree, but because it's on an elevated platform, you have to get off your flying chocobo and click on a thing to be teleported up there. Okay, whatever, Square-Enix, fuck off. So I walk up to this tree and I initiate the cutscene, and it's like beep beep bloop bloop bloop, and like screens start popping up. It was a high Allegon computer tree.
Nice.
No. Why'd you leave that? Like, why did you decide not to tell us about that?
What, you wanted to know about that? And ruin it for yourself? You wanted me to spoil the twist of the story?
Allegon computer trees? That's not a twist.
That actually was the
twist
biggest
was that
twist.
the guys were just dumb assholes, and it was really dumb.
And like, so it shows you this hologram, and like the people in the hologram don't even get actual names. It's just leader and like subordinate, basically. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself to basically
to save the thing.
No, it's not to save anything. I'm gonna kill myself so that we can put a fucking monster up there to keep testing people. No, leader, please don't do that. No, I'm gonna do it. The
okay. Bye.
The end. Fucking computer tree.
So in 1,000 years, no one has ever needed to, build anything there or
try and chop down the tree.
I mean,
yeah, right.
It's up on a tall elevated platform. Nobody knows.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody knows how to get up there.
It's like up the top of a cliff that you have to be teleported up to.
You know,
nobody else can fly on their mounts.
This is what gets me when I see stuff like this, or when there's dumb decisions made, whether it's in movies or TV shows. Like, I always think that like someone wrote that, right?
Yeah,
like
someone had to write that down.
Someone said that's a good idea.
Well, it's a computer, so the story called for an elegant computer, and someone at some point was like, it can't just be a computer; it needs to be disguised. And
everyone would know about it if it was just
I mean,
out
that's
there.
true. It has to be disguised.
And amongst everyone at Square-Enix on the writing staff, they decided what was smartest was to disguise it as a tree.
Well, yeah.
Why not put it in a cave and you get access to the
Final Fantasy
cave?
V callback. Just like how X-Death was a tree. Allegan tree computer.
No,
what?
that is not
and we fought X-Death in Stormblood.
It's not at all a callback.
It's connected. Everything is connected.
It's not. It's not.
It makes sense.
That has nothing to do with Omega.
Allegons.
No. No, actually, didn't Omega come from fucking space?
Yes.
So, is he an Allegan construct, or he was just captured by the Allegons? Are we actually clear on that? Do we know for sure?
He was captured by the Allegons.
No, he's an outside primordial being of sorts. He's not created by anyone.
What does this have to do with Heaven on High?
Nothing.
Allegons.
Miri Kennett says,
Nothing.
Allegan computer tree. Is it any wonder I quit playing this game?
I mean, it is kind of like becoming a bit of a trope these days for FF14.
You didn't see Allegan tree coming, did ya? Pow!
Then the next expansion, let's just go back in time to the Allegan days.
Because it's patently stupid. That's why.
Okay, well, you know what's great? You said you want Square-Enix to surprise you. What the fuck did they do? They surprised you. You fuckers are so needy, and when they do something you want, you're like, oh, that's really dumb, and I didn't want that. Well, you know what? This is why Square-Enix doesn't listen to you. They tried your idea one time, and it bit him in the bum.
With a computer tree.
Was way cooler
with
than
Allegan computer
story.
Tree.
No.
The actual story where they try to make it seem like there's some cool lore at the top of the tower, and then you find out it's just a training ground. Like, that to me was worse. Like, having the Allegan computer tree was actually kind of cool. I was like, oh, this is like, I thought it was more a throwback to like Star Wars, because the holograms look very like the little Star Wars holograms. I don't know.
Yeah, someone called it the R2D2 tree.
Yeah,
that
sounds about right.
But so that was like kind of cool, I guess. But the actual story where they're like, oh man, there's this like crazy tower with lots of lore and shit going down, and man, look at all this lore. And you're like, cool, I'm gonna go learn some lore. And you go up there, and they're like, actually, we're sorry, we feel bad, we lied, we were just testing you. And oh, and by the way, this guy's gonna respawn every time you go in, because we just want to train people and test people forever. Ugh. I'm like, why? They could have actually used this to tell us real lore. Like, they could have.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel even more justified in my lack of interest
Taro
in.
Says it was a tower that was used to train people.
We know what it is, Taro.
Future calamities.
Oh my fucking god damn it! We know what it is. If we had to visit the 1,000-year-old pine, that means that we read the rest of the fucking story. The tree has no fucking relevance to any of this. Why did that stupid NPC? You know what? It's not right for me to tell you what happened. Go talk to this fucking tree. Literally, all they had to do was, our original leader sacrificed himself so that the 30th story monster could basically respawn. Boom. But no, go talk to a fucking computer tree. What did that add to the story? Nothing.
Fantasy.
No, fuck all. You want to know what would have been fantasy? If we would have went up to the 1,000-year-old pine and that guy's spirit was somehow still trapped there, and that's what was giving life to the respawn, and he told us this himself. But maybe that would have been okay, but a fucking tree, get the fuck out.
But fantasy.
Fanta trees.
Spirits talking to you isn't grounded in reality, so we had to use a computer tree. Because Allegans are reality.
Because this game just wants to be sci-fi instead of fantasy.
I mean, in a lot of ways, yeah, it kind of does.
It's fucking stupid.
I don't know.
Even though it's called Final Fantasy.
Right, yes, despite fantasy being a part of the fucking name of the game series. No, I mean, just dumb. I just think it was dumb.
It was very dumb.
I watched you do it, and I was just like,
you were going to join me afterwards, and you still did, but you had a harder time doing it.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go.
That was my 2 cents on
Kahlo's little rant.
Yeah.
Before we get into our discussion about the FF14 subreddit, because let's just poke that bear again. I wanted to read a comment that had been posted not just on our YouTube comments, but also on the FF14 Sargentanis server Facebook group.
Oh, okay. You got a copy of it because I have the screenshots.
I do.
I thought it was garbage.
I do, and I'm not going to go and blast this guy's full name, but we'll just call him David.
Okay.
Right. So David included this message on the Facebook group.
Regards to Limit Break Radio. I'm sorry, but I cannot take this show seriously anymore. It's almost a disgrace to the Final Fantasy XIV community. How can this be a FF14 podcast if the host of the show never done a raid in the game? We all know the end game could use some work, but would it kill you to at least attempt it? Who cares if you're a bad? Currently now LBR does no rating and no extreme trials, but then they bitch to the audience that the fans aren't doing their job to support the show. LOL. No, LBR is the ones not doing their job. If they cared for the community, and if they actually cared for their show, they would want to consume all the content in the game.
All the content.
It's
all of it.
Your duty. As a gaming journalist, they don't even do casual gathering and crafting. So they only represent themselves and not the community. So why the fuck are they mad that others are getting more attention and support? They should be happy that they have even one fan listening. I can barely consider a Nero a member of the community at this point. LBR doesn't put the time... hold on. I had to switch to a different screen check. I find where I am now.
Doesn't put the time or the grind into FF14, and it's crazy that they even still have a show. LBR should be removed from the 14 Twitch channel, please. If there, it's spelled incorrectly, is even another show that has good players in the community hosting.
There we go. We should be removed from the Twitch channel.
Oh,
guys.
David. All right, couple of things here.
I miss you so much it hurts sometimes.
So no one takes this show seriously, including the people who make it, right? Like, we've never taken this show seriously as long as it's been an FF14 show.
Also, I believe that this was in response to the rant you made on why Final Encounter Cast isn't around anymore.
Right. And so let's talk about a couple of the accusations that get thrown around in here, that I was berating our own listeners for not supporting enough. No, that's not.
Never done that.
That's not actually what happened. I'm pretty ambivalent to what happens to our Patreon goals. The fact of the matter is that we put goals and dollar amounts in there at what level the different shows would be supported at and how frequently we would do them. And after we started doing Final Encounter Cast weekly, when the total dipped below where that show needed to be at to fund it weekly, we kept doing it weekly. That's it.
For a while.
Right. And we stopped doing Final Encounter Cast in order to be able to reboot it as the Let's Be Real podcast. Now, since then, since we've stopped doing Final Encounter Cast, as Checkpoint Radio, we've been to E3, the OWL Grand Finals, and we're getting ready to do a fall tour of college campuses. So we've got a lot of shit that we're working on as a production unit. And quite frankly, when we did an assessment of can we keep doing Final Encounter Cast on Sunday with the heat and with all of these different factors, no, we can end it at 100 and then reboot it and set that goal at 1300 and keep it there to mark that funding level. And so what we've tried to explain is that we're not just going to give you the content for free anymore. We did that. We did that show gratis for about half of the episodes, more than we should have. And if you want to call that trying to leverage our audience, that's just how Patreon works.
Well, and here's the thing too. That isn't a criticism to everyone. We have some amazing fans who give us way more money than we deserve on Patreon. This criticism isn't to them because they support. The amount of people that we get, I really liked Final Encounter Cast, but didn't support us.
Right.
That's who it's for.
Right. And again, if you want to see Checkpoint Radio succeed, you want to see the production crew of Limit Break Radio succeed as a production crew, that's what you're supporting.
I also think that this was prompted by someone who said, I don't like Checkpoint Radio, bring back Final Encounter Cast. Look, man, like Nika would say, you don't get to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Oh God, fuck you.
and the fact of the matter is that we've been busting our balls with Checkpoint Radio for it to be a source of income that doesn't have to come directly from our listeners. You got to understand that there are 5 people associated with the production of this show,
and one of them has a dumb family now.
And exactly, one of them has a family.
Cool family.
There's more that are associated with the production of Checkpoint, and so what you've got to understand is that we needed to find a funding plan that met our needs for the entire company, not just for Limit Break Radio. And it needs to be able to be sustainable into the future. And I really do, I appreciate your guys' generosity so much. But I refuse to ask you to float my bills and put food in my, on my table
and hookers in my bed,
on your dime. Okay, I want to be able to earn that the way that media has been set up to work. We have created a show that's on a network of 60 different radio stations. That is prime advertising, real estate, and that's the value that we want to try to drive. We don't want to have to come to you guys again and again and again and say, hey, we got to push those funding levels up. Hey, we're tired of doing that. We don't want to beg. We're willing to do this any way we have to, beg, borrow, steal, whatever we have to do. But at the same time, if we can make this more sustainable and we can make this a full-time career, then why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we go after that and pursue that doggedly? And if that means that a show that wasn't funded for 6 months has to go by the wayside for us to be able to do some other stuff, then that's what it means. And you guys have pushed that total back up again above 1,300. And like I said, we're going to be launching the Let's Be Real podcast in the fall. So you guys have already unlocked, a couple of episodes there, and that's the best that we can do.
Okay, but you're not addressing the main point here, Nero. How can you call yourself a gaming journalist if you don't raid and do extremes?
Well,
or craft
you're
and
some
gather?
kind of moron, you know that?
Here's the thing: I don't call myself a gaming journalist. I don't think I ever have.
It's hilarious when people say shit like that.
Oh.
After all the Gamergate shit came out, and they're like, "Oh, gaming journalists must be ethical," and then I feel like now everybody who produces content about a game is a gaming journalist.
Right. Can't have it both ways, really.
We've never claimed to be that. I don't know what about our content screams gaming journalism.
Okay, but it's your duty to do all the content as a gaming journalist.
Listen, if you want my opinion about the content, then you have to change up the content. I've done raiding. I did raiding in 2.0. Oh, but you haven't fought Alexander. I don't really give a shit. It's a bunch of different circle patterns on the fucking ground that I have to avoid.
You know who did, though? Nika. So we got that covered.
But, what the fuck do you actually want from me? Like, if they had changed the way that raiding works at any interval since I had done it, then I would have gone back and I would have done it. But they don't change shit about any of the extremes, any of the raids, and quite frankly, it's a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of time, not just for me, but for you guys as players, because any of that awesome gear that you get out of those fights is made irrelevant 2 patches later, and that's the most frustrating part. That's the fundamental thing that any of our critics or any of our detractors or Square Enix seems very, very hell-bent on not addressing, okay? The very fundamental problem of grinding your face off against a fight every fucking day of the week and maybe being able to clear it only for that gear to be outclassed in 2 patches by the simplest shit in the game to get. That is the biggest problem, and it's a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of time for the entire fucking community.
Shout out to Elevator Doors in the chat, said, man, I got ridiculed for saying this to a few friends. Well, guess what? Speak the truth, man.
It's true.
But this is what I need to hear them at FanFest say, is that they're changing the core concept of their end game, and I'm sold.
I feel like Taro brings up a good point in the chat, though. Is not a waste.
Okay. Cool.
There you go.
It's your opinion. You're entitled to it. All right.
This fucking guy. This fucking guy. A couple of other things. They don't even do casual gathering and crafting. No, you're right. It's the most useless part of this fucking game.
Do your job.
Oh, what's that? Wait, what's crafting and gathering done? What's the point of it?
It would matter more if money meant more.
Right, exactly. Money doesn't fucking matter. Gil doesn't mean anything.
In 2.0, I maxed out my my crafting and gatherers. So
I did too, just to be able to repair my fucking gear.
Yep.
And now I don't really.
That's why I
That's
did.
it.
That's what I did.
So that's it.
That's the only reason.
Content.
I have all the crafters leveled literally so I can like repair mid instance if I need to. That's the only reason I level them. And then the Disciples of Land, I only leveled just so that they all say 70 on my bar.
Yep.
Like there's really no other reason to do so.
Nika, you have a problem.
I know.
Now, here's the one thing that I really do want to dig into here is that Nero doesn't deserve to be called a member of the FF14 community. That's
fine.
Hilarious.
Wow.
That is hilarious. I've been here since 1.0. I played all through 1.0, contributed to Gamerscape and the Eighth Right Radio podcast, launched this podcast, made it the most successful podcast in Eorzea, and what more do you want? What more do you want to be able to be considered a part of the player community?
Raid.
I want you to play Lords of Reminion and win a tournament.
But here's the thing. It's these same fucking turds that'll go around going like, oh, well, Happy doesn't raid FF14 exclusively anymore. He doesn't deserve to be a part of this community. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself with a rusty bat. That is bullshit.
It's really funny too, because like, what do they consider the community? Like, do they consider themselves part of the community?
Thank you.
If so, I doubt you only play one game. So just throw that out there.
Thank you. Exactly. And dude, and the thing is that it is so laughable to say, oh well, Happy doesn't deserve to be called a part of this community, which I have seen that shit, whether it's on Reddit, and we'll get to you Reddit in a minute, but whether it's on Reddit or whether it's in fucking YouTube comments, that dude has done more for the FF14 community and positively than we've ever done.
Positive is the operative term.
I mean, people actually learn shit from his videos. I think that you would have to go way far the fuck out of your way to try to discredit him on that level, and yet people still do. And I find that shit hilarious. So go ahead, try to convince other people, yeah, Nero doesn't deserve to be a part of the community. You know what? I don't think that a lot of people are listening to you, David. What are you putting out here, David, that people can really latch on to and get, become a fan of? That's what I really want to know.
I think you're only a really true member of the 14 community is if you have a tattoo of Final Fantasy 14 on you somewhere.
So just you.
Just you.
I'm not the only person.
Actually, no, I know there are other people that have 14 tattoos, but that would make our player community very small.
But I'm the only one out of all of us, which makes me the best.
And yet you still won't contribute to the outline.
Yeah, or log in. Do you still have an active account?
I'm in the studio right now.
Okay.
I'm in my...
Kyle is not in the studio.
Well, he was in...
What the fuck?
He was in Brooklyn. You can't fault him for that.
I know.
It was a joke, you bitch.
But I mean, last time we had asked you, I don't think that you even had an active account.
No, that
was a while ago. But I I've gotten back on the boat of the active account, and Nika, I got your back. The first time Nika ever makes a funny joke and you guys jump all over like she's serious, Nika, good joke.
Thank you.
Was it though?
Yes, I know exactly why you're not in the studio. I was just giving you a hard time. Jeez.
Anyway, so this actually brings us to Reddit, because we've talked about Reddit before. This was
long time ago.
I don't know, maybe more than 2 years ago. I think.
Yep.
At this point,
called them out for being a piece of trash cesspool.
Well,
had a big long saga.
What we had said was that they were a terribly modded insular community that doesn't allow for actual discussion and crushes any kind of dissent. I think that
would rather promote naked cat girls.
Right. And we got a lot of pushback, specifically like an almost 800 comment thread on Reddit.
It was like a 3 or 4 week saga.
That was filled.
It was intense.
And it was filled with.
And it ended with like apologies and misunderstandings and oh god.
We buried the hatchet.
We buried the hatchet. You can go find that episode. It's called Burying the Hatchet. Anyway,
happy ending.
That's right. Well, maybe
Are we gonna
not.
dig up that hatchet?
Maybe not.
Oh my god. Did somebody come out with like a 10-year later sequel?
Is
that what this is going to be?
It's a little bit. I don't, because here's the thing: is that all of those criticisms that we leveled at them, we never really apologized for that, because they were true. They were our opinion, and that is still my opinion of the FF14 Reddit. Is that it is terribly modded, it is insular, it does crush all discussion of some very serious things that affect the FF14 community, and we got confirmation of just how shitty that community can be.
They have cat girls.
They have a lot of cat girls.
Yeah.
A lot of naked cat girls.
Yeah. I also learned that I'm secretly a furry.
This past week, the FF14 subreddit's Discord lost its partnered status.
What?
Bum 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 bum.
There we go. I was waiting for that. So, Discord...
what does that mean, first of all?
Here's the thing. Okay, so I actually asked what being a partnered Discord member gets you. Apparently, if there's an outage of Discord servers, yours has priority, like for either coming back up quicker or it doesn't go down. So
Discords can go down?
They must put you on a different server farm. And then the other bonus is that they give you like a discord.com/whatever link to be able to link people to join the Discord.
You also get additional moderation tools, whatever those may be.
Yeah.
Just more resources too, because the partner channels tend to be bigger communities, so they basically just put more resources at your disposal.
Yep, and I seem to remember someone even approaching us to ask us if we wanted a partnered Discord at one point.
Really?
And I was just like, I don't think we need that.
No, we don't.
We definitely don't.
That would have been kind of cool. Though.
But
no,
why?
Also,
well, here, what's funny is
there a directory of Discord servers that people can search?
That's a good question.
No, there isn't.
If there was some kind of way to be like, hey, these are our partnered channels, maybe you're interested in them, that would be kind of cool exposure. But I guess that there doesn't seem to be a really big point to it, maybe.
Yeah.
No, yeah, not really. Now, I can say, though, after reading all these stories, that if we were partnered, we wouldn't be taken down.
Yeah, that's pretty much true, because, I mean, for all of the stuff that we do let go on in our Discord server, we don't have a not safe for work channel.
No, we don't.
Because we're not pervs.
We're not creepers.
We're not fucking creeps.
So what?
Yeah, like that's, I think, something that needs to be explained.
Let's start there. Let's start there, because this popped up, was actually big enough that both Kotaku and Polygon latched onto it. Back in February, Discord had changed their terms of services to basically to better reflect what they expected out of not safe for work channels, because apparently not safe for work channels were something that were very popular within Discord.
Well, I think at least some of this was brought on by their clear clearinghouse of a lot of the alt-right
The
servers.
Discord has like a tag that when something's marked as not safe for work, you have to actually like click and agree that you're old enough. So like it's part of the program.
Right.
It is.
That it exists.
That's right. Well, and exactly. So that's one of the reasons why they basically clarified some of this, because you're right. There was the alt-right stuff, and apparently there was also a big epidemic of like Discords that were helping to encourage revenge porn.
Oh.
Yeah. So which actually fits right in with like the whole alt-right incel bullshit.
Fucking creeper bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, if that's the shit that you're into, you're a creepy motherfucker.
Yeah. So they back in February, they had revised their rules a little bit to be a little bit more clear in saying that not safe for work should not have any type of like lolicon type stuff. Basically anything sexually suggestive within that sort of realm that has anything to do with children.
Right.
Which, why the fuck did that have to be stated?
Yeah. If you need to make a rule about that, then something has seriously gone wrong.
Right. So, how did this end up affecting the Final Fantasy XIV?
And before the chat starts up with kink-shaming bullshit, fuck off. Fuck all the way off. If you're into the lolicon fucking creepy bullshit.
Yeah, if you draw porn or whatever, that's whatever. But like, I feel like anything to do with
yeah, just gross.
Honestly, like anyone who makes that shit should be on a list. Like they should definitely be on like a sexual predator list.
So speaking of lolicon, guess what was in the FF14 Reddit not safe for work thread?
Well, I would assume that it would be some really creepy bullshit.
Yeah,
probably having to do with Lalafell.
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe?
Yeah.
But Lalafells are technically adults. That's a weird one.
Okay. But technically, Nika, the lolicon stuff, technically, the artists say they're 18 years old.
Technically, you're still a fucking creeper.
Yeah. Super creeper.
So that was the reason that their partnered status got revoked. Now, Ane, the guy that we actually had on the show from Reddit, said that within learning about this, that within minutes, it was gone. They had went in there, they had removed everything that would have violated the not safe for work terms of service stuff, right? Didn't get their partner status back.
Right.
And so, had looked into it and asked, when is it going to come back on?
So they were warned first, like, hey, remove all this content or you're losing it.
Discord updated the terms of service, and I think gave people plenty of time to address that kind of shit.
Yes. Apparently, look, there's going to be a lot of weird back and forth here and a lot of, well, this isn't fair and this isn't fair bullshit that we're going to go over. But what it came down to was, yes, they even say in a message that we're going to cover here in a minute that once you removed it and once you were within our guidelines, had that been the only thing, would have been fine. We would have gave you partner status back.
So there's this message floating around, and I can't verify the validity of it with 100% certainty, right? I know that there have been a couple of people who have been kind of archiving this drama as it goes along, and this came across our plate. I have no idea if it's true or not, but this could help shed some light as to why the partner status got removed and why Discord would be fairly well within justified reason of not giving it back.
That's right. So what I'm about to read next is a quote. This is a correspondent from the Discord representatives to Ane. Hello, Andrew. If the lolicon content was the only thing, we would be able to restore perks. However, in addition to that content, we received a very thorough report of your server's recent activity, including things that you yourself have posted. We were able to confirm these with the help of our trust and safety team, which you can see some of the quotes below. Ane, like I said, whoever made the name scheme for 14 is a fucking retard. Ane, are you retarded? Ane, not gonna deal with that level of retard.
No, okay, all right, that's not awful. I say retard a lot. I mean,
like, it's not good to say. I try not to say that word, but I feel like in a Discord server, though, I feel like
you have a lot of options, right?
People shit talk in games, like not like that's a line. I don't know. That's a gray area.
But listen, I think that if you can defend your use of it, then fine, whatever. Because to me, it's that whole euphemism treadmill. Today it's retard is a word that was born out of calling people, mentally handicapped folks, imbeciles and invalids, and before that trainables. It's been a euphemism treadmill as this shit goes along, and at some point I get a little bit tired of it, but it is something that we all kind of colloquially use to call our friends dumb.
Yep.
And yes, there are way better choices for what you can call someone. It can be offensive. It's a word of weakness. It's a word that I love. I don't begrudge him for that, but there is.
But I guess if you're a partner Discord, there are rules for moderating.
There is.
They do hold you to a much higher, much
different
stricter standard.
Right.
And this may have gone unnoticed had they not specifically been reported for repeated use. But that's not it.
Yeah.
Nay.
By the way, this is my favorite one. This is the one that kind of, I was sympathetic up until this next one.
Nay says, and Obama is a dirty Muslim.
What?
Jeez.
Wow.
In addition to your posts, these are what your members have been recently posting that has been left unmoderated. Now, these people have the stupidest fucking names. I'm not going to worry about reading those, but I'll just read the quotes. They'd kill Goose, though, because he's a faggot. I am a degenerate, but you're fucking gay. You're correct, but still fucking gay. By the way, mega faggot. Hi, gay. Hi, gay. I only harass random strangers on the internet that I believe to be gay. Wow, a gay loser.
So
searching up the word, this is back to the Discord people now. Searching up the word retard brings up a staggering 4,869 results at the time of sending this ticket. And there are also a large amount of strong racial slurs, which we won't be mentioning here.
Wow.
By being a partnered server, we hold your community to a higher standard and trust that your server is one that anyone can enjoy without worry. Unfortunately, you and your server's behaviors and actions have not fostered a welcoming home. If anything, it's become a server that has gotten bad enough for users to write into our team directly about. This is a final decision, and the perks will not be restored.
But again,
you are a bigot.
But again, you cultivate the attitude in your own community. And if your community gets bigger, there's a threshold that a community can reach where you start to go, okay, dude, there are going to be people who take this severely out of context and take it to a different level, and it's not worth going down that road. Again, I'm not offended by the word retard, but 4,869 instances of it, I probably would have stepped in.
Not to mention, that's just for that word. Could you imagine what words like gay,
how many times
or faggot,
they searched
or the N-word has probably been used within their server?
Right. I mean, and that's hugely problematic. But again, this is a different standard that their server is being held to because they're partnered. And that, I think, also is something worth mentioning, because it's not, hey, we're shutting your server down because it's so toxic. It's just being removed from some of these extra shit that they have.
People are getting so bent out of shape about this over the entire Discord community, because Discord, quote unquote, they haven't been very communicative about this and letting us know about the changes. First of all, as you said, you're not actually losing your fucking Discord. You still get to be the terrible fucking creepy ass sociopaths that you are within your Discords. Really, what you're upset about on this crackdown is that you can't put porn in your not safe for work.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, listen, I don't think anyone on this show is going to tell you to watch your language. We have a hot
and you can put
drop,
porn there, just not child porn.
Gay. Thank you.
No, Discord, leave us alone.
Right? We're ones to talk. We do not shy away from coarse language at all. If someone has a problem with a word that's said on this show, I would assume that it would be brought up in the room. Someone would say something if they were offended, but we've got thick skin here. So nothing in this, I mean, Obama's a dirty Muslim. That's pretty extreme, but nothing in here is really, I would say, on its face, is that offensive to me. But the frequency, again, 4,869 times
of just one word.
Again, I would like just being the person that I am and moderating the Discord like we do. I would have stepped in at that point. I mean, it can get pretty excessive, and sometimes people do need to be reminded that like this isn't like, dude, when I throw words around like that, when I throw shitty words around like that, I'm usually very, very careful about the context that I'm using them, and I have a full grasp of the context in which I'm using them.
Yeah, Blue Cloudy in our chat saying, oh, so now we censor more. Here's something that I find absolutely hilarious.
No, here's the thing, and I don't begrudge I don't begrudge the FF14 Reddit for this. I think that it's ridiculous that they blew this up into such a problem that it made it to fucking Kotaku and Polygon. They blew the horn on this. This was not Discord coming out and approaching Kotaku and Polygon and going, hey, do you guys know about this crazy server?
Well, it's because it probably became a really popular Reddit thread, and I'm sure people at Kotaku and Polygon just like,
well, guys, hold on. I have an interesting line of inquiry that I want to go down here really quick, because a lot of people are saying this isn't fair. A lot of people are really, really upset about this, right? That these partnered channels, now what partnered means is that they are representing the Discord brand. They are representatives of this company. And in this case, again, almost 5,000 uses of just the word retard. We have no idea what other racial slurs are amounting to, right?
Yeah.
But they are representing this company in an actual partnered Discord. But now Jessica Price goes onto her own private Twitter feed that just happens to say, I'm an employee, and calls someone
an asshat.
An asshat. She's got to fucking go.
She needs to lose her job.
But this should stay. This should be okay. You fucking kidding me?
Again, it's people making arguments that are convenient to their point of view.
Yeah.
That's really all it is.
Why should we take anything that any of you say fucking seriously?
Right. Well, and I'm sure that they could shoot back, well, why should we take anything that you say seriously? Don't. We've asked you not to several times, directly.
Now, if any of you listening right here have an opinion one way or the other, please call and talk to us. We would love to hear some differing opinions.
That's right. If you want to dissent, we would love to have that conversation. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. Did the FF14 subreddit Discord deserve to lose their partnered status? I would say definitively yes.
Absolutely yes.
I would say yes.
Another victory for America.
Now,
should further action be taken against that server?
Nah.
Nope.
No.
Nope. This is fully justified. They got what they deserve. They're not really losing out on a whole lot here. I mean, again, why they decided to hold their breath and turn blue and try to make this a huge public-facing issue is a little bit beyond me. I would have said take your lumps and try to understand where Discord was coming from instead of looking like huge whiny babies about this issue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
you're not even like really losing anything important.
Yeah. And again, you know, like the thing is, you know, with Limit Break Radio, you can go through our Discord logs all you want. The shittiest that we're going to get is on the show. We bring that to you on the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like
you ain't gotta go deep diving for it.
That's right. It's not like if you join our Discord server, you're going to get digitally felt up like with that one dude from the Moogle Times or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you're not you're not going to be assaulted with fucking, you know,
and when it really comes down to it,
bullshit language.
When it really comes down to it, right? In not defense of these creepy ass people, but just sort of like if you feel like you're losing out on something, this is only affecting the partnered Discords. So go make yourself a stupid creepy ass non-partnered Discord if you want to share your fucking gross ass shit with each other.
Yeah.
That's really all it comes down to.
I think my biggest problem here was the LowlyCon stuff in the NSFW section. Like that's fucking so beyond creepy. Like what I do not understand what the compulsion is for people to share porn. Can anyone explain
sharing
that?
porn is one thing. Sharing child porn, I feel like, is a
yeah. Okay, because actually, this isn't so much FF14 related, but it does kind of piggyback onto that a little bit. There is a section of the LGBTQ that are worried about this because apparently it's a pretty big thing for helping like boost confidence and stuff like that, where within the LGBT community they'll share selfies or like porn with each other and whatnot because it helps to foster acceptance and stuff like that. And now because of the way that the rules are written, that's sort of a gray area for them.
I think that's a pretty creepy practice overall. I mean,
that seems a little weird. I'm just thinking like
creepy.
people. I think if people want to like draw porn or something, that's fine as long as it's not.
And I mean, it also also does come down to like erotic fanfics.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't. Who knows how much of that shit was original works? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like, I've seen this. I like on forums that I've been to. Online communities. This happens a lot where people just have porn. Pics or JPEGs or movies, and they share it with one another. And I find that intensely is anyone else creeped out by that? I don't mean to sound like a fucking prude, but it just seems like, I mean, I've been at the head of several online communities, and that has never been a discussion that we've ever had, is like, well, where should we put the porn section? Like, no!
Look, different strokes for different folks. Let me read the quote here. It said they had one channel, and this is from the subreddit for gamers. They had one channel where a lot of people talked about sex and shared porn and selfies, which was a really positive environment for people coming to terms with their sexuality and allowed them to gain a lot of confidence with like-minded people.
Okay. I still think
not my thing.
Still creepy.
And it does seem a little weird.
Still creepy.
But again, different people are into different things. Polyamory, even though I gave that a try once, is still really weird to me.
Fair enough. Let's go to our phone lines. We've got Prince Clary hanging on. What's going on, Prince? Is he there?
Yeah, he's here. Unmute yourself.
What's up?
There he is. There he is. What's going on, Prince? Thanks for joining us.
Way to go, retard.
Wow.
Topical.
Topical.
It's topical.
There you go. Anyway,
I know it's topical. I've been listening, but anyway, so just been listening to the conversation and thought I provide my 2 cents. One of the main things right now with Reddit, and it's kind of becoming part of the mainstream that everybody pretty much knows Reddit's kind of like a shithole, right?
Yep.
But what I've been seeing in the chat, people talking about should all of Reddit be blamed, and now we have to censor more people and all that stuff. Listen, I'm all down, and I understand what people mean in terms of the context of comedy or the context of satire or the context of deconstructing a word or deconstructing outrage, right? But this is not what was happening in this Discord. What was happening in this Discord is straight up hatred and bigotry, right?
And the normalization of it too. And I think I think you can kind of tell that given the context of some of those quotes that we heard, that it's just the normalization of something like using words like that. And that's never what we've tried to do, when, and you're right. I think, when I try to use a word like that, it's for a purpose. It's got a deconstructionist element to it. It's got I'm saying it for shock value, but I'm going to follow it up with a point, right? That's usually the way that I try to use language like that. But that's not the way that language was seeming to be used in the
few examples that we saw.
Yeah, the FF14 subreddit. Yeah,
right. And here's the part that I find it doubly ironic is that I was on the show. What was that, last week or a couple weeks ago?
Last week.
Last week when we were talking about the ArenaNet stuff, right? And you guys made a really good connection talking about people's selective outrage, right? And we saw a litany of people in our chat, and over the course of a few weeks on YouTube and whatnot, sort of playing devil's advocate, trying to make some sort of intelligence out of it, which is fine. But there's nothing redeemable about this. There is no middle ground on being able to, call people gay in a slur type of manner. There's no middle ground about using the N-word as a pejorative or any of that stuff. And that's the part that when people start talking about, oh, we're just censoring all of our language. No, if you want to insult me, you can insult me about something that, you know, I actually have done. You can insult me about my opinion. You can insult me about, you know, a litany of things. My race and my orientation are things that there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah,
right?
it makes you a certain type of person, and when you start going in on those kinds of attacks.
Right, and the number one thing that I want to talk about is that I am seeing in the chat people saying, like, you know, I never tuned into LBR, but I find this refreshing right now. And the reason why people are finding it refreshing is because nobody held this Reddit and nobody held this community to any sort of standard whatsoever. Part of why I was not active in the community for a long time, even though I was playing the game. As a matter of fact, out of everybody besides Nika, I think I've plugged the most hours into the game in the past 6 months out of all you guys. And the reason I haven't been active in the community is because I know it's so damn terrible. Is because I know it's full of people who want to either, one, just blindly accept anything that Square-Enix does, or turn a blind eye to the ridiculous stuff that they see in the Reddit and on the Discord, or be active participants in it. That's not a community I want to be a part of.
And most people, and
I do.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that when you have a community that has this many people, and yeah, I know it may not be WoW level, but it has quite a few people, quite a few players left still. And you have a community that's this visible, that has this many people, and you have something like this come out about that community. First of all, it would have behooved Reddit to get involved, but they didn't. And it would have behooved Discord to get involved, and they did. If I was them, this community wouldn't be allowed to Discord, to be honest with you.
Well, and it was
especially considering the history that Discord has had, you know, and stuff like, you know, Charlottesville and all this other stuff. Man, come on, dude. If I was Discord right now, I would be like, you know what, you guys can't rock on our platform.
Well, it's hard for me to sit here and criticize Discord, because you're right, they are kind of under the magnifying glass at this particular moment, and they know that they've got to clean up their act. So, you know, if you've got channels out there or Discord servers out there that are partnered, that are supposed to be, you know, putting your best foot forward, and even those servers have the kind of dog shit, you know, like the lowlycon shit in your NSFW channel, like, that's something that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed immediately.
Having a porn channel on your Discord is stupid anyway.
All right, well,
it's gross.
Real quick clarification. The NSFW isn't supposed to be a porn channel. Just stuff that's not safe for work, such as spoilers, for example, would go into your NSFW channel. That's one of the reasons why they had to update it, was because people were basically using it as a porn channel, and they're like, no.
But that's what not safe for work means,
right?
Yeah, no,
that's what it
aware.
Means. So
right, like, if you want that feature,
having it labeled that is going to give people an impetus to post porn onto it.
If Discord
even be labeled that?
Right. No. I agree with you, Norris. If Discord wants that feature to be used for spoilers, change it to spoiler tags.
Period.
That's it.
Yeah, you're not
NSFW,
wrong.
NSFW does have a certain subtext that says porn.
This is something you should not open at work.
Here's what I want people to draw a comparison to, right? We're, you know, a bunch of people broadcast on Twitch. If you would have had a Twitch partner, very visible, very vocal streamer that came out and used that type of language at that type of frequency. Like, it's one thing to say something once or twice, okay, whatever. But at that type of frequency, it's the frequency that we need to draw attention to here.
Absolutely.
That somebody would have used that type of language that often, they would have been run off the platform. If Ninja would have came on Twitch and used, you know, the N-word 3,000 times or however many times that they, use any of those type of
that's
words.
the difference, though, is that Twitch stays on top of that. So you'd never get to that point. They say it once, and they're in the media, and they're getting in trouble already.
Let me just say, and I've also seen a article recently where Ninja was actually reflecting on the language that he uses. So, he was like, wow, there's a lot of kids that are watching me stream, and I don't want kids to necessarily be sat in front of a swearing jukebox for 7 hours. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty intense. And so, he did have this kind of like internal conversation with himself. Who is my content for? And, I would say that if Limit Break Radio had a contingent of very young listeners, then that would have to be part of our calculus. But we've built this brand to skew older, to skew cynical, to skew veteran, right? Like those are kind of the three defining factors of people who listen to Limit Break Radio. They tend to be older, they tend to be MMO veterans, not FF14 veterans, MMO veterans, and they tend to be a little bit more cynical because they've seen it. I know Taro really loves to defend this game, but he's probably only played like 2 MMOs ever. I've played 15 of these motherfuckers, okay?
I don't actually know the number of mine. Wow.
Like it's so many. I've played so many MMOs. It's disgusting. And the fact of the matter is that I've learned some things and picked up a couple of patterns in my time playing MMOs. And you know what? When I start feeling those same patterns in a new game or a new MMO, I start to go, man, this is really boring. And I think that is worth talking about. If that makes me an asshole, fine, I'm an asshole. I don't really give a shit.
Clara, you actually said something a few minutes ago, in relation to Reddit, that this isn't all Reddits, right? Not all Reddits are as toxic as this
Hashtag
is.
not all Reddits.
Not all Reddits. And when I look at everything that's going down right here, all this really is, to me, is a warning to everyone else, right? Because what can stop this type of stuff from happening, as we can see on Twitch, because it's a lot more visible, is that people have to report this type of stuff. And the only reason this was discovered was because of the whole, redoing of the NSFW thing, the way that they had to reword their rules. That affected a bunch of Discords, right?
Right.
But it's only the FF14 Discord that got called out for this type of toxic behavior, this hate, and this use of language. And I have to think the reasoning behind that is because of the way that the leadership fosters it, right? Ane leads this Discord. He's one of the leaders of the FF14 Reddit, and as long as him and people like him are in control of it, it's not going to change.
I think that's a fairly good point.
It's definitely not, and I think that's the part that is the most disappointing about all this, is because this stuff is very much so avoidable, but because of the culture of Reddit as a whole, and yeah, Reddit, not all Reddits are awful, but when you have a reputation, right, it's like 4chan almost at this point.
Right, yeah.
Where you have this reputation online for being a cesspool of every bad opinion and reprehensible personality type on the face of the earth, then yeah, people are gonna put you under the microscope. So it would behoove you as a community to say, you know what, guys, let's be on the up and up. Let's be proactive in rooting out bigotry. Let's be proactive.
But they don't give a shit. Well, that's the point. Because Ane, exactly, because Ane is in charge. It doesn't matter how much we put them under the microscope and call them out. Nothing's gonna fucking change because he's one of them.
No. I'm saying it would behoove them as the Reddit, as their community, to police themselves and take responsibility.
But they're not losing anything. Like, they have no reason to do that.
Now you have a litany of bad press, and I can guarantee you, people, LGBTQ players who like are black or Latino or whatever, a bunch of these people are going to be like, man, fuck that Reddit, because I've done it.
But I mean, I think most people who have spent significant time there
already get that
going, man, fuck this place, and Kahlo, I get what you're saying. That, as long as it's the same people in charge, nothing will ever change. And I do think that there's a degree of truth to that. It's like And far be it from me, I'm not saying that I'm the right person to take over moderation or admin duties on the FF14 Reddit. But what I'm saying is that if that is your job, or if that is the role that you have selected for yourself, then you have to be far more objective than what this current mod staff has been. And I think that is at the heart of all of our criticisms towards Reddit, even going back to the very first time that we criticized them, is that you're not being objective. You're curating content that you want to see and that your friends want to see, but you're not thinking of a wider audience. And I mean, I get it that people can probably say the same thing about this show. You're not thinking about a wider audience of FF14 players. Well, we kind of are, but at the same time, we kind of don't care, right? We understand that there are people out there, that there are thousands upon thousands of people out there who either are just trying this game or are still very much in love with it, and that's fine. There are plenty of shows out there for people who still love this game. There's tons of them. Please go check them out. She Heals, I Tank. Mr. Happy's podcast, State of the Realm, Aetherite Radio. If you still love this game, go check those shows out. I have no problem giving them a free plug. The thing is that there's also going to be just as many people who play FF14 go, I've seen this shit in other games before, and the things that we talk about and discuss about FF14 will resonate with them. That has always been our audience, and that is who our audience continues to be.
And there are people that do believe that we are a good part of this, or a good addition to the community. Modk in the chat earlier said, I don't usually follow this podcast, and I do love and raid a lot in FF14, but I have to say, by listening to this, you are a healthy addition to the FF14 community.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We try to go out of our way to spotlight discussions that are maybe not happening on a wider or a wide enough array of FF14 outlets. Right, yes. And so I think that it's important to have discussions like this and a place to have discussions like this. And if that's the discussions that you're going to have, you can't be everyone's fucking friend. You can't. You can't.
And the last thing I just want to add, because people are talking about the elitism of that Reddit, because all those guys are raiders and stuff like that. That would be akin to somebody saying, you know what, you can't be a fan of the NFL unless you've played football at least the college level, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would eviscerate 90% of the NFL's fan base.
Bro, that would eviscerate 99% of the people who report on the NFL, right?
Exactly.
Like, dude, reporters, play-by-play people, these guys don't go out and play football on the weekends. Are you fucking insane?
Nope.
I work with a lot of them. They do not. You know what they do? They go home and they smoke pot on the weekends just like everyone else, and they enjoy watching football. That's what they do.
Exactly.
They consume
Exactly. And if you consume something enough to the point to where you can notice small changes and critique it, you have a right to be in the community, and you have a right to be to have a voice.
Thank you.
Anybody who disagrees with that, and anybody who comes into this chat saying you guys don't raid, so you shouldn't have an opinion, they need to shut the fuck up. They need to log back onto their server and go and mash their faces against a wall for content and for weapons and gear that's going to be obsolete in 2 weeks.
Well, see, they can't do that because they've already finished it and there's nothing to fucking do.
Oh, well, good on you, you
Real
fuckhead.
talk.
You know, that really does leave a whole lot of time to leave stupid comments on YouTube videos, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Prince Clary, we appreciate the call and always welcome a visit from you. Come back anytime.
I have a campaign I'd like to start.
What's that? What's that?
I think, because you're right, someone like you obviously should not be the moderator of the Discord.
Obviously.
We're not trying to say that. It's not like you guys suck, we're right, so let us be it. I think that someone like Juxta should moderate the Discord or the LBR Reddit, because then instead of cat girls, we'd have pictures of like donuts all day long and just other food. And who can't get behind that?
Or pictures of me naked with the food on me.
Okay, never mind. Juxta's not leaving.
Yeah, no.
NSFW LBR channel we're going to start.
Prince Clary, thanks for the call. We appreciate hearing from you. If you want to give Limit Break Radio a call, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. I've got one more thing before we get out out of here to talk about that is bothering me.
All right, what is it?
Chlamydia.
Yes. It's so annoying and itches all the time.
Did you catch it from our NS?
Wait, does that mean that Juxta has it too?
Well, yeah, it's up in my asshole. I have this special cream.
Oh,
it burns. Like, the only relief I
Why
have
are we a
from
partner
it
Twitch channel, guys?
is because when I take the shower head and I put it up my ass, and it just feels really good for like 5 or 10 seconds, and then that wonderful feeling goes away.
Okay, no, not what I wanted to talk about.
Wow.
But here's what's bothering me. So, yesterday, while we were doing our coverage of the OWL Grand Finals, as I load up my browser and start to navigate towards our dashboard, I get a little pop-up
on Twitch
in my browser that says you've used 100% of your bandwidth for this month. It was a message from Comcast.
I get those.
What?
Oh. Yeah. So, remember when we were talking about net neutrality and the importance of net neutrality, and Comcast was like, don't worry, guys, we're going to try to enforce the tenets of net neutrality. We're not trying to run anyone out of business.
Yeah, do you usually have uncapped?
I have had uncapped internet from the time that I signed up for it.
And now suddenly you don't.
I've never had a cap on my internet previous to this.
That's interesting.
Isn't it, though? Now, I mean, I don't download a whole lot, right? Like, you know, if there's a game that I've bought, you know, I'll download it through Steam, whatever, right? So, how am I hitting 100% of my bandwidth cap? And I'm sitting there thinking about it. It's the streaming.
Yeah, it's got to be.
This is, I mean, and again, this is exactly what we were talking about. They're trying to price streamers and gamers out of their basic subscription tier.
That is such a huge contingent of people to be able to tap for potential revenue now.
Absolutely. I mean, how many people?
Jesus fuck. I mean, that's pretty much the future of entertainment online.
I mean, like think of the amount of people that sit around and stream to 4 people because it's something that they love to do. And how many of those people have grown it from 4 people to 15 people to 40 people to 100 people to 300 people? Guess what? You use the same amount of bandwidth whether you're streaming to 1 person,
whether you're us or Ninja,
or 800 people.
Yeah.
Use the same amount of bandwidth.
You know, Argent Esper jokes you need to get their $300 business package. The funny thing is, we've tried to get a business line here, and it doesn't exist.
We've tried. What they've told us is that they would have to run an entirely new line, which would cost me $3,000 up to my apartment to be able to get a business line. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Not be any other businesses in that vicinity.
Well, there is
because that's the only way.
But you're near Detroit, which to me seems really.
That's the only way they can quote unquote guarantee that you would get the service that comes with a business line, like a service guarantee.
Right. Because a lot of it is like if there's an outage, right? If there's a service outage, that your service is not affected. My service goes down like once every 3 days. It's terrible out here. I mean, and it's, again, you guys had mentioned downtown Detroit, right? Like, I've lived in a lot of different places, and I've had Xfinity at a few of those. I've had, God, what was the one up in Mount Pleasant that was actually great? Charter. I've had Charter before. I've had Verizon as an ISP. I have never had actual service interruption problems like I've had in Detroit with Comcast.
It's pretty fucking unexcusable.
It is, especially for a major metropolitan city like this, and with how many people live in this area. You know, this is not like a rundown. This is not, everyone's vision of Detroit is not accurate. This is the Gold Coast. I live in a place called the Gold Coast, and that has some very, very nice apartment buildings and condos. There is no fucking reason that we shouldn't be able to get competent internet out here.
But here's the thing. You have to look at it from Comcast's side. Just for a second, let's play devil's advocate, okay? You finance a $3,000 business fiber to come up here so that you can have your internet, pay $300 a month. Now what they can do is start charging other people in the area $300 a month to also get access to the fiber that you just paid for.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know.
Can you really
I'm holding up progress, really. It's my fault.
Can you really fault them for that?
But I mean, like, this is fucking ridiculous, though. Putting an arbitrary bandwidth cap on your users really does, at a disproportionate rate, affect gamers and streamers and content creators more than it does their average user.
That you were uncapped, and now you're capped. They must have sent you something to let you know that they had put that in place.
Sure didn't.
Oh.
No notification. Just woke up, and I've got a little message on my fucking browser. And for some reason, my Twitch chat doesn't work anymore. I don't know if those two things are related.
You know, this is actually going to make me want to go home and check now, because I've been having a similar problem where if Twitch chat is left within the dashboard, it doesn't work.
Right.
If I pop it out,
then
it does for some reason.
Weirdly, that worked for me today.
Yeah.
It wasn't working for me yesterday, because I had the same problem with Checkpoint.
Yeah. I mean, it very well could be. I mean, they also have problems with, like, updating, like, title and going live notifications and shit like that.
Oh, my God,
Could be just Twitch sucks.
It could be. But regardless of that fact, I mean, the whole you reached your quota definitely wasn't there before.
Yeah. That's brand new. So, screw you, Comcast. I'm glad your team lost last night. Stupid Fusion.
Poor Carpe, though. He was so heartbroken.
Yeah.
Good, he should
I don't really
cry.
care. I don't care.
Little poor 13-year-old looking Carpe was choking back those tears.
Carpe, get traded to a good team.
Yeah, there you go. Do that. And Mickey and Carpe.
Like the Gladiators.
I don't know. Surefour's no.
Well, we need someone to pick up the slack from Fissure.
All right, first of all, Fissure's a tank. Carpe is not.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know what Carpe was.
They didn't play Fissure. That's not his fault.
Right.
I'm just saying, we don't have Fissure anymore.
Yes, you do. They just didn't play him.
He's gone.
No, he's not.
He's
not yet.
Leave. He's gonna leave.
Not yet.
He wants to be on an all-Korean team.
It's not what he said.
Completely.
It was taken out of context. Anyway, if you want more news like that, you should check out Checkpoint Radio.
That's right.
Twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio.
That's right. I'm just fucking pissed about this Comcast thing.
I agree. I get it, but like, what are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna reach out to their PR representative and see if they'll come on Checkpoint Radio.
Sweet.
Do it.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I mean, because like, what else? I don't know. What else can I do?
Nothing, really?
I mean, because again, something seems very fishy about this, that they're able to change my plan without telling me, that my rates effectively end up going up because my usage is on average higher because I'm a streamer.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. The amount of especially younger people that this affects now is astronomical.
Dude, how many parents are going to be really pissed at their kids because their kids are streaming and now their cable bill is going to be so much higher?
They want, they have their Netflix, they have their whatever else.
Data's going to be like the new like the way that fuel's used for like cars and shit that. Data's going to be the new gas.
And that's the problem. That's the problem, is that Comcast is treating bandwidth like it's a commodity, and it's not. It's not. I'm sorry. The fact that you don't want to update your lines to be fiber optic, that's on you. You can actually increase the bandwidth size of your lines. You just don't really want to, do you?
No, you just think, well, let's just charge more money.
So you got to end up hurting your consumers in the end. I mean, I'm going to have to end up paying more money to just access the internet on average than I was before, and I was already paying $115 a month.
Jeez.
I don't have a real fucking cable package, bro.
That's just for internet.
I get cable channels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get ESPN. I don't get Cartoon Network. I get like USA, and I get CNN. Those are the only and Comedy Central. Those are the only three channels that I watch with any kind of regularity. Everything else, it's like, sorry, your cable package does not include this.
And you're paying $115.
$115 a month.
Now you're gonna have to up it so you can get a bigger quota.
Exactly. What kind of bullshit is this? Fuck you, Comcast. You guys said that you were gonna do right by your customers, and you lied like you lie about everything else. And I knew that this was going to happen.
Another victory for America?
No, not at all. No. Don't you dare drop that.
It feels like I'm dying inside.
That's accurate.
That's fair.
Thank you.
Accurate.
All right. That's all we're going to have time for here today on what show are we on? Limit Break Radio.
Can't believe we didn't have any shitty Redditors trying to call in and
I'm disappointed.
Oh yeah, I can't believe that the people without spines didn't call in.
No, it's because they don't listen to us. They just wait for that one person to post it on there and then blow up about it even though they know nothing about what we talked about.
All right, so next week.
Yeah,
next week
we'll get it.
Hopefully,
sometime during this week we'll have a Reddit post probably talking about it.
There you go. We'll get to do previously on LBR next week. Yeah.
Goddamn
Reddit.
Fucking Reddit. Let's hope so. I mean, I don't know if we don't have a nice big Reddit thread to read next week. I don't know what we're going to do.
First of all, I'm going to be super super surprised, but also like I think if I were to like look forward and be like what am I most hopeful that's going to come out of this is I would absolutely love to have Anae back on the show trying to justify this.
I'd be open for it.
Could you even imagine?
No.
Like, to me, there's nothing he could possibly say except come and be like, yeah, I'm a fucking shitbag, basically. So, you know, I accept it.
Tune in next week. Let's see if it happens.
I don't know. I'm just thinking like moderating something that big has got to be difficult, honestly. So like if I was going to think from his perspective, like depending on how many mods you have, how much time they have to literally read every single comment by every single member, it's got to be hard to moderate.
But the slurs are coming from him as well.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Is there not like filters on Discord where you can just like have it star out certain words?
Don't believe so.
You can do it on Twitch.
I bet you if it isn't in Twitch or in Discord normally, that's got to be one of the things that the partner Discords at least do, right? You would think.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No idea.
Well, if he comes on the show, we'll ask him.
Maybe.
No, well, he wouldn't know anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, that's going to be it for Limit Break Radio today. Thanks, guys, for joining us over at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Of course, it's always fun to have you along and to have you guys chatting in the chat room. Join us every Sunday starting at 4 p.m. over at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. If you want a full archive of all of our episodes, those can be found over at limitbreakradio.com, and subscribe to Limit Break Radio on Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever you want to call it, and leave us a little bit of a rating and a review. Let us know how we're doing, especially if you hate the show. We love hearing from you guys. Anyway, that's going to be it for my crew, Nika Kayani, Juxtaposition, and Kala Landis. I'm an hero. Keep listening. Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. This episode was produced by Kala Landis and Juxtaposition. Final Fantasy XIV and ARZ are trademarks of Square-Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Nexian Theta, Hirsch Firsch, Tulane Vieira, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Opening music in this episode from Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and other great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at facebook.com/Husky by the Geek. In-game graphics for Limit Break Radio's Twitch stream are provided by Diamond Multimedia. Check out their line of AMD graphics cards and other hardware at diamondmm.com. Limit Break Radio and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.